Yeah. And I think that goes into kind of the final topic that we should talk about, which is the technology that can play a piece into the fashion world. Obviously, one of them we talked about, which is blockchain. And to kind of start with blockchain, I think it's good to kind of identify what it really is, because a lot of times when you hear the word blockchain, you're going to think of cryptocurrencies, you're going to think of Bitcoin, you're going to hear Ethereum, all these buzzwords that, I mean, it's somewhat died off, but it's still in the back of people's minds just because of that hype that was created.
Yeah.
Even though I believe in the concept of cryptocurrencies, that's not when I talk about blockchain. That's not my focus. My focus in blockchain is how do you create, to simplify, well, it's not really simplified, but to simplify to an extent, it's creating a ledger system that verifies 100% where it comes from, and it's a peer-to-peer network. So instead of having middle people, a bank, or anything involved in that process, we verify through each other and through a community if that transaction is legitimate or not. The reason why I think blockchain technology is so powerful when it comes to the fashion world is, one, obviously logistics, so the supply chain networks. Understanding where the pieces are coming from, what we talked about. So where are the actual textile pieces coming from? Where is it getting made? How much water is being used? Is it verified that they're actually using those products inside of it? Is the product verified? And then after it's verified, how does it come to the consumer? Because if you use a blockchain system, you're actually able to track every single thing, verify it, but then you can also make your supply chain networks way more optimal, because you can use AI algorithms within your blockchain system to actually tell you how you should change your supply chain network. Where should you get your materials from? What makes the least amount of carbon footprint? How do you actually benefit society? That's why I love the concept of blockchain. Is it like right here, right now? Not necessarily. The technology is still very new, but to see how people are already using it, I think it's really going to change how a lot of industries go about CSR and sustainability.
Right. And as a company, like you said, it's really helpful because then they can set up these APIs and algorithms to track it from their vendors to their actual manufacturing operational plant, to their creative team, all the way to the market shelving. And the reason why blockchain is also crucial for the consumers to be aware and know about this, they may not care about the API and that aspect of it, but for the consumers to hold the companies accountable, it is the one way that companies can be transparent with their consumers, and consumers can say, okay, I know exactly where the t-shirt came from. It didn't come from this company that created, the design of it necessarily. It went all the way back to the source, all the way back to who actually created the weaving of the fabric that's used in this actual fashion piece. And that's the way, how consumers truly can participate, not only in blockchain, but in holding companies accountable to being environmentally conscious, using recyclable plastics. And when companies do say they're sustainable, investigate. Go find out, why are they saying that they're sustainable? How are they sustainable, really? What is it that makes them sustainable? And is it just a tweak of a couple things and it's a marketing play? Or is it truly there's something that they stand behind as a business model that they've created to help and address that aspect? Because like I said, and like you mentioned, it's cheaper to take the shortcuts and just tweak a couple things that really have no environmental impact versus changing an entire true business operational process to have a better impact on the world, which may not necessarily financially put profits out in the first even year. They might, company might go back down into debt a little bit just to change into that process and take that risk. So it's that balance of capitalism but social responsibility at the same time. Where do we draw the line now? Because as an American society, we're huge on capitalism. We believe that the economy, takes care of itself, and if a product's made, eventually, if it's faulty, people won't buy it and it'll fall out of the market. But now the issue is that you have a lot of people, I guess, giving into the market from entrepreneurial side, but then not understanding the awareness and the vendors and the things that go into true business on the backside, because we've been so into the consumption of it,
Yep.
that now we're consuming and then practicing just to make money versus understanding the true impact on a social level, which now we're suffering from today.
Yeah.